Hello and welcome to how I play my level 115 Magician. So we're going to jump right into this and talk about spells. We'll talk about my Multibind, talk a little bit about gear and where to focus on AAs. At 115, there is no longer any auto grant, so from this point forward, for 116 and beyond, we will need to earn our AAs, and I'll show the path that I'm going to take for that, and we'll do some more there. So first up, I have Twin Cast. This is a level 85 spell. It never gets upgraded ever again. I'm probably sure they regret ever putting it in the game because they never did. So the best upgrade you could do for this is rank 2 or 3 from Seeds of Destruction content, and that requires Seeds of Destruction raids and or I believe it's Seeds of Destruction. It might be Underfoot, but it's one of those. They're all 85. It's not House of Thule before that. Next up, we have Riotous Servant. This is our current level Swarm Pet. Now, our Swarm Pet is our focus ability. Where is it here? Conjurer Synergy. Every time we cast this, everybody in the group gets the base damage of 1 fire or chromatic and direct damage spell increased by 75%. Chromatic would benefit, say, a cleric. Fire being a wizard and mage, and ranger, druid. So you can kind of see where that's going with that. Now, everybody in the group, every time I cast that, will get the buff. If we, where's my comment dummy over here? Right here, if I cast it. Let's see here. Right here, Conjurer Synergy. So it's going to add a little extra damage to all my spells as I do that. So you want to cast this on cooldown to benefit everybody in the group along with yourself. Next up, we have Shockwave the Mini. This is our pet nuke, if you want to call it that. The more pets out and active on the target, including other people's pets, will increase the damage of this spell all the way from 7,100 to 53,000 damage. Now, I run a pet heavy group. They're all wolves right now for some dumb reason. But I have a Beast Lord pet, the Mage pet, a Shadow Knight pet, a Shaman pet. The Bard has some Swarm pets thrown out there too, so we definitely hit the 7. So I'm hitting that huge nuke all the time, and it is really nice. Next up, I have Chaotic Pyroclasm. Hard to say there, but this is a 32,000 nuke that has a chance to trigger this buff here, which will either give me 35% extra damage via this. Well, this one restores mana, 10% for a twin cast, all kinds of stuff, right? It's a gamble. I like it. It's a gamble. It's fun. It's almost instant cast, so it's perfect for what I do. Next up, we have Spear of Molten Kamamite, or Kamatite. Kamatite. I don't even know how you say that word. But this is a 44,000 nuke. It's a big heavy hitter. If we throw one on here, right, go to spell damage. 100,000. That's not even it. Where is it? Oh, this is the combat dummy resisted. Never mind. Oh, there we go. We hit him. Spear, 622,000 damage with a critical, right? We got all these other things that landed on there too. But that's crazy. You can also see that my two-hander procced 100,000, and I got some benefit from the Bard from when I did the Bard video when I was playing Bard songs. Let's see here. Next up, we have Burning Mallow Sinara, which is our current level Mallow Shock of the Burning Steel kind of combined spell. I like this spell for multiple reasons. One, it does a magic nuke. Now, why on earth would I want to do a magic nuke? Now, if I come over here to my wizard and I show the wizard synergy right here, Evoker Synergy, one non-fire spell to get an extra 90,000 damage. Now, typically a mage is mostly fire damage, and we need one spell that is magic damage, and luckily they give it to us with this here. So the majority of the reason why I cast this spell is because I'm running a wizard. Now, I would run, if I was running multiple mages, I would run one of them with this, and then I would not run any of the others with this. This will mallow, and it will nuke the target, right? We'll see. There's mallow, so my highest level mallow, plus I get a, a 26,000 nuke on top of that. So shock and burning steel is the 112, 15,000 nuke, right? So very nice spell, very useful. Next up, I have burning skin. This is a tank buff. It causes 12,000 point damage shield for 30 seconds or 4 strikes, whatever comes first. Definitely great for putting on my Shadow Knight, who gets benefit from that. I also summon a orb of molten hammackj, whatever it's called. Come on, give me the item. There we go. Which is a 10 charge orb, which will cast bolt of molten kama that does 23,000. Now we'll talk about the multibind here in a second, where that gets into play. But we summon that orb. It's a mana free instacast nuke. We can see right here, boom, instacast 83,000. All right, keep that in mind later on. Gather up potency. This is our harvest equivalent spell. It takes whatever and gives us mana, 19,000 mana. I use it on specific occasions. The mage does run out of mana, so is something to consider there. Next up, I have Composite Companion. This is our current level progressive ability that we started getting at 101. This current level increases. This is a group buff, right? Well, no, actually, this one targets my pet and my pet only, I believe. I don't think this is actually going to work on other people's pets. Here, let's check. So it's on my pet. This is the shaman here. I don't see it on his pet. So the mage one is not a group buff. It is just on that, but it increases the damage of my pet by 160%. It increases, it heals the pet for 21,000 every 6 seconds. Increases the stats by 200. Adds a chance for melee strikes to do composite companion strike, which is 33,000 direct damage, and it evades them. That's insane, right? And then it's up to 100 charges, or this is, I think, 60 seconds. So a nice little buff for the pet. Now, I run an air pet, which we'll talk about here in a minute, but it's definitely worth it for that. Next up, I have Call of the Heroes. This is a group Call of the Hero. This will summon all my characters to one spot. If you watch the Hobbs and Friends series, I make extreme use of this ability by just Call a Heroing all my characters from place to place. I put them all stacked on top of each other for positioning, and it just saves me time because I can double invis my mage with bard speed, run to where I need to go, call a hero of everybody, and send the pet on anything that attacks me, and I am good to go. So it's very nice. Next up, we have Restless Symbiosis, which is our current level mana regen pet conversion. So it takes 9,300 life from the pet and uses it to create a shield that will give me 72 points of mana regeneration. This is very useful. I don't even know if I have it on. Nope, I didn't even have it on right now, but that gives me 1,297 mana regeneration at the moment. My health regeneration is absolutely bonkers with whatever else I got going on right now. Like, I got a lot of buffs. So that is very helpful because I do burn through mana like a sieve. If you've watched my Holdridge's Crusade videos, I run 3 mages in there, using literally the other characters from this group that are just 125 mages, and they cannot sustain. 3 mages is very hard to sustain without any kind of mana regeneration like an enchanter or a beast lord. A bard is not enough, so that is this is very helpful in doing some of that. Next up, I have Manifestation of Air, which is the 111 air pet. I use air pets. Why do I use air pets? They stun. Air pets will stun the mobs I'm fighting, causing me to take less damage. I might get more damage out of a water pet because it is a rogue. It'll backstab, but I'm not going to micromanage positioning it so it can backstab. That is not even worth my time in any sense of the word, unless I was playing only one character and I was playing that as the mage, and then I would just summon my pet. Where is it at? Do I even have it here? This is a summon companion. You can summon your pet to you. That would be the only reason I would possibly ever use a water pet. Now, if I needed to, I would switch to an earth pet for more tanking, but at this point, Hobbs, my tank, he's about as good as it's gonna get, and I don't think a pet is gonna out-tank him on current level content, right? If I jumped into higher level content, I might need an earth pet, and I might be able to do it, but it's not worth it. So I use air pet for the stuns. I believe there's a little bit of a proc that you can get out of it. Here, let's send him on here. Well, he still went to the damn front. Let's see here. My melee damage, right? You can see he hits for 10,000, 44, 49,000, 35,000. He is like a dot that is just going crazy. Like, he's flurrying. He's lucky flurries. Like, luck is very important now. Luck is a stat you get at 110 from the Burning Lands and beyond on the non-visible pieces. Like here, you can see here, my earring is 100% luck for this level. Each tier has different luck levels. This character does not have it. Let's see. This character here, she has the necklace from Lorian's song. It is 35 luck. So luck goes up every expansion. And stuff like that. So it's very important to me to get that. It's probably important to you too, because we start getting more lucky criticals and all kinds of crazy stuff like that we wouldn't have gotten otherwise. We get criticals, but we would not have gotten the luckies. And you can just see how much damage this guy's doing. He can solo. Like, I'm 115. He can solo a mob with like me doing zero effort. This guy, he can solo a Empire Zakunar tier 1 mob with zero effort on my part, right? I can just send him in. He'll get the job done. No heals required. He is currently, I think, level 114. And I do have a raid focus to, summon him, right? This is enhanced minion. What is that? 29. So this will benefit pets between 111 and 130. So he's just right at that bottom cutoff. And this, this is a raid earring from Calls of Ishin. So there. Those are the spells that I use normally, and we'll talk about how I use them in a rotation here in a second. For my aura, I run Arcane Distillect, which right here improves pet damage, right? Now, this is an aura that everybody in the group gets. Now, if we go, where is it at here? It's actually on the pet. Where is it at? There's the icon. It's a fist, right? Yeah, this one. Yeah. Increases pet damage by 15%. Now, I have one mage. Every single pet benefits from that extra 15% damage. You can kind of see here now, it's hard to tell, like 15% extra damage. He's hitting for like 6,000, 71,000. This guy is just doing a massive amount of damage. I have given him no weapons. I've given him nothing. I have procs on. I'm not turning that off. He is just a beast when it comes to that. So I keep that on at all times. Next up, I do Circle of Envious Skin. If I need damage shield, I probably have a better one right now. Yeah, I have Ember Weave, but this is the current level skin. Group damage shield is probably like 5,000 damage, give or take. It's pretty nice. You want that on your group at all times. Next up, I have Ice Flame Rampart. Now, this is a very interesting spell, and I like it a lot because I run with Pet Taunt on, right? So cloaks your pet in a Ice Flame Ward, which will deal 2188 cold damage to any creature that strikes it, and grant it a chance to get Ice Strike 9 Asia, which gives him Prism Skin and deals another 6100 damage to the target and allows him to absorb the next 2 melee strikes. Now, think about this, right? I'm not specifically tanking with my pet. I'm letting my pet taunt the in-between rounds on, where my Shadow Knight might have, not taunted it, right? Every time the pet taunts, he goes to the top of the hate list, right? So it ping-pongs the aggro, but I'm running a Shadow Knight who's instantly grabbing that aggro back. And so this allows him to deal more damage when he gets hit and absorb those hits, right? So there's a little bit of a benefit there for the pet to be able to do that. Like, I don't even see pet take a lot of damage most of the time, right? Like, I'll let them off tank mobs without even bothering to heal them. My passive heals through roar and all the other stuff that we got going on. I think it's Shock of the Many will heal them. I think it's this one. There's another one maybe that heals the pets when you do stuff. Which one is it? Something heals. I believe maybe it's an AA. I just can't remember the name of it. Let's see here. Theft of Essence. Yeah. Passive ability grants your Shock of Many line of spells to heal standard pets, right? Swarm pets, enhanced effect, which avoidance, maximum level, attack power, blah, blah, blah. And then they enhance theft, which increases their stuff. It's like, it all adds up, right? One of these heals them. I just don't know which one it is. Yeah. I believe it is, so. Radius. Increases the avoidance, attack power, all that stuff. Current maximum health by 25,000. Yeah, maybe it doesn't heal anymore. Maybe there's another one that heals. I don't see the actual heal line on that. Yeah. Anyway, it doesn't matter. They don't take any damage. Like it's crazy the way the group works with all the splash healing I got going on. And then we have Burnout, which is our current level pet haste. Let's go ahead and just cast that so we can get the spell right here. So this infuses our companion with 25 extra melee damage, right? 25%. Attack speed by 185%, attack rating by 281, 39 armor class, 85 strength for an hour, right? It's just an all-around good buff to have on your pet at all times. So those are all the spells I cast. Now, my multi-bind is pretty simple. A Host of Elements, which is a swarm pet, so it's 3 level 117 elementals, right? And then I cast my other swarm pet, which is Rigorous Servant, which we already talked about. Summons another one, right? And then we have Twin Cast, which goes into Shockwave of the Many, then Spear of Molten, and then we have Burning Mellow Sonara, and then we have Chaotic Pyroclasm, followed by Companion Necessity, which is another AA elemental. This will taunt stuff. And then we have Force of Elements, which is a AA nuke, 0.1 second cast time, 31,000 damage. And then we have Turn Summoned, which only activates on summoned creatures. Does not affect the multi-bind in any way by being there, but it will spam whatever window you have it going to. Which deals 600,000 damage to a summoned. It's crazy. Like, the summoned in the Scorched Wood were just like melting whenever that was up. And then we have Servant Row, which is another summoned pet. This is a 1/16 Servant Row that casts a 12,000. That's 12,000, right? No, that's 120,000 nuke. Every 3 seconds for 60 seconds. Insane, right? Insane in the membrane. This is just absolute amount of damage, right? So you can kind of see, like, we're getting a lot of damage. And I have a button for sending my pets in, but that one doesn't work because it's at the end of the macro. So if I hit my button, right, I only press 5. Like, to do all this, I only press 5. So we got my sworn pets out. You can see them all right there. Turn the summon. Let's go here. Turn summoned. That's, oh, I have my pet targeted. Where is he? Hobbs needs to target this because it's all based on my extended target, right? So now I have a target. There we go. And spear. Bolt to molten kyanite, because in my assist button here I have use item molten kyanite orb, which is that thing, and then summoned Moderod also, right? There we go. I think we've done a full round here, right? This is an insane amount of damage. Now I don't parse against combat dummies. It's just not worth my time. Because it doesn't simulate real life experiences, right? I could get a number that could be higher or lower than what the actual performance would, and I don't bother with it. It's just not worth my time. But you can see here we're doing significant amounts of damage, right? This is, I think she is the highest DPS character in the group if I do not melee with the Beast Lord. Especially during burns, but... There we go. You can see all the pets. So there's at least 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 in there, maybe 6. So like almost the mage alone gets a shockwave, the mini all the way up. But it's pretty crazy. Now, let's talk about burns because that's probably important. Silent casting is the first thing I cast because some of this stuff generates a lot of aggro, and this will generate less hate for 1 minute. Then we go into Heart of the Skyfire, which will increase the damage of my spells by 95 to 145%, reduce the hatred generation of my spells by 60%, and increase the damage dealt on criticals by 50% for 3 minutes. So it's a huge burn right there. On top of that, I do Spire, which increases my spell critical chance by 24, blesses me with Companion's Elements, giving everybody in the group Apex of the Elements, which increases, let's see here, a chance to trigger an 1850 proc plus damage shields and spell resistance. Pretty crazy there. And then we go into Improved Twin Cast, which allows us to twin cast 20 damaging spells. So that's in addition to that, but they do not stack. Then we have Forceful Rejuvenation, which will reset anything that's up except for Twin Cast. So, I think Composite Companion, like if I click that one, Composite Companion is down for a minute. If I click that, boom, it's back up. Kind of that's how it works. Does not work on Twin Cast though. I think it would be Gather Potency would work also. So, you know, get those back up ASAP. And then we have in the burn 2 here we have Focus Arcanium, which just gives us better chance to land our spells. Then we have Focus Thaumaturge's Focus, which increases the base damage of our direct damage spells by 60 to a 70%, and a 10% extra chance that they will crit, but it increases the mana cost 75%. And then we have Frenzied Companion, which it's called Companion's Fury, but as you know, here we are. This, you know, as a passive, it does a lot, but what it does when activated is gives the pet 67 armor class, overhaste by 25%, 40 strength, 700 attack power. See, a chance to improve flurries on successful double attack by 6%, accuracy by 20%, base melee damage by 220%. Grants a 25% chance to rampage during combat, which is an AoE attack. And that does 80% of the damage, right? So he becomes a beast of a pet. Now I'm running full, like, you know, like almost glass cannon like, right? So I'm not doing any of the defensive like fortification or Aegis. I'm not casting any of those. Those would be beneficial to cast if you needed them, but for what I'm doing, I don't need them. And then we use our breastplate, which is our robe. Use item 17. You can see here let's make this bigger. Zeal of the Elements 8, which is what I have on my robe now. Allows your pet's next 8 bashes or backstabs to trigger Companion's Assault. Companion's Assault is a 117,000 proc nuke, right? So that's it's over 1 million damage in just bashes, right? So that's pretty nice to get there. I also do Blood Drinker's Coding, I think. I think this character has one on here. It doesn't make sense that she does not have one. Where would it be? It would be here, my activated items. So this character, obviously this is Tuwani, my monk. So she has that item, which Blood Drinker's Coding will give me. Let's actually look at it, you know, make sure, you know, understand what that actually does. You can see here, it does Vampiric Aura on my melee attacks. Now, I'm not meleeing, so it doesn't really do anything, but I should be meleeing, right? When we get to missions where the mobs actually last longer than, you know, the group fight stuff we're doing, then I will be, you know, like, we're going to do Zlandikar as a group here in as soon as I do the wizard video. Everybody will be positioned, and she is going to be attacking. She's going to be swinging this weapon. So it'll be beneficial then, so that, you know, her swings will give her back health, and her, you know, melee attacks will proc. Now, kind of a nice little segue into the weapon, right? So you want a two-hander as a mage, right? I have the Velium Threaded Arcane Staff, which is the COV, Calls of Ishin, crafted group tier weapon, right? This is pretty nice. Deals a 12,000 proc, plus it has Sympathetic Surge of Ice, which does the same thing, another 12,000 proc, and then I have an AUG in it that gives back mana every time I cast a damaging spell. The Mirror of Spiritual Reflection, which gives back, doesn't even say. It's such an old AUG. It's from level 95. It's just what I had to put in there at the time. And that'll give me back a little bit of mana, I guess, but probably not enough to even think about. But when I do cast my spells, right, like I think we saw earlier in the video, if I cast, let's do Shockwave the Mini. Let's see here. There we go. There's one. Spear. Oh, we're not getting. There we go. Surge of Ice. So Surge of Ice is, you know, when we cast spells, we get a chance for this to proc. Otherwise, we can come over here, like turn on melee, and we should just watch here. So we get a lucky critical. Just the damage we see. This is our proc damage, just from me swinging this weapon, right? Now, we would benefit also from some ADPS from the Bard and the Beast Lord from this, but you can see here in the Shaman also. If you're not meleeing, you're probably doing something wrong. But it is hard to melee boxes, and if you're boxing a mage like me, you're probably lazy. And so it's a little bit less, but you would get significant more DPS because, you know, I'm swinging and I can cast spells in between those rounds, right? Like, you can see there, I'm like getting them in there. Spear, and then it's gonna swing. Oh, you can't see the swings because they're on a different page, but yeah. I have no idea where melee swings go, actually. I must have a window that is hidden because she's not. I'm not getting seen any damage for her swings here. Let me see here. I'll look at one of my other characters here. Let's see, Hobbs, other melee. There we go. You can see there. She's hitting for 6,500, a lucky critical. So it's not terrible damage in all thing, but she's not a melee class. She doesn't have double attack or any of that stuff. So yeah. Gear wise, so like the most important gear for the mage is the earring. I think this is going to be number 1, followed by the arms at number 2. So the earring improves our pet. Her pet is just always active, always doing damage. So you want to get the best pet focus you can get. There's there's 3 of them available every expansion. The raid one being the best. So, you know, do with that what you will. The arms are also the next important thing because it improves fire damage. Obviously, there's 3 versions every expansion, group, and like there's group tier 1, group tier 2, and group trade skill. Each of them have slightly better stats. So this one is group tier 3 for COV, which is 115. It's pretty good. Now, I don't have any on me. I was looking for some different gear, but I think waxing gear, you can use at 115, which is a little bit, it's pretty close to this gear. I cannibalized one of my other mages to take this gear, so I didn't have to like make more or anything like that. Next up, I would say would be the helmet. The helmet improves magic damage. Now, I'm only casting 1 magic damage spell, which is the what is it called? Burning Melisaniara. So the benefit is less from there, but you know, it's pretty, you know, it is what it is. And I would say the weapon. You want the best weapon you can get. Now, not just for the proc, right? But there is going to be more spell damage and stuff like that. That's kind of like where you want to focus, getting your spell damage. Now, I focus on my mages heroic intelligence. You could go with, you know, stamina would be the other option, but I would say heroic intelligence is the way to go. I'm trying to find where I can like see, like here's spell damage, right? I'm at 1903. I'm trying to think of what heroic stats, like see, heroic, so dot damage, you're going to take less dot damage with heroic intelligence. You're going to have better spell shielding with heroic intelligence. And, you know, it's pretty good. It also increases your mana pool, so you have more mana. Having a larger mana pool means you can cast more spells before you run out of mana, obviously. So it's, you know, something to consider there. This is, so this AUG is a COV type 5. You can buy them from the vendor. When we get to the COV expansion, I'll cover how to buy all these and stuff like that if you don't know. But we're not there yet. So, but you can see here, these are what I think are the most important pieces of gear. And you want to cap that, you know, heroic intelligence as much as you can get. I would say once you have, like, see how I'm at like 39 or 45. I would say once you hit the end of that, you could probably go into stamina. Because you're going to get soft capped. I don't know what the soft cap is for intelligence, if there is one, but I'm assuming there is, because that just seems to be how this works. You want to get as much spell damage as you possibly can. I think, so yeah, here we go. Clairvoyance returns mana to you when you cast a spell, so you probably want a lot of that too, just to make sure you're good there. Now, heal amount doesn't really matter at all for this. Luck is going to be very important because it improves just about every aspect of your character. Other items of note, you're going to want the evolving items, obviously, from the next, you know, few expansions, right? So in Night of Shadows, there's a cloak. In the Outer Brood, there's a ring. In Lorien's Song, there's a necklace. I'm sure there's another one I'm forgetting. But you're going to want them all because they're going to be the best items you can possibly get in any of the slots. Now, you can see here, I'm still wearing like level 95 gear mixed with my 115 gear. So that's, you know, just something to think about. You're also going to want the belt, like this belt here. This, the Threaded Boon of Potential belt, you're going to want that one because it'll, every time you cast a damaging spell, it will give you an extra 5,000 to do that. And also a chance to do a group heal, I guess, on some of these belts. So, like the melee have an overdrive punch belt, the tank has a crippling slice belt, so you just make sure you're wearing the right belt for your class and stuff like that. But yeah, that's about it. That's the mage in a nutshell. I don't think there's anything else to talk about except maybe AAs. I guess we can briefly talk about AAs because, you know, that's going to be the next thing. Conjurer's Synergy is your number one, I think. I don't think there's anything better than this because it provides everybody extra damage just for casting a spell. So you want to max that out ASAP. So we're at 115, the next one's at 120. But it is 200 AAs per rank, so it's pretty expensive. And next, I would go for Focus Storm of the Many, and then Shield or Spear, and then I think Flames of Power. Yeah, Flames of Power, you're going to want that one, and Hasten Raging Servant, so you're going to get that one too. Those are the most important focuses, I would say. Like, unless you're like casting Eradicate of the Unnatural, like if you're doing that, like go for it, get that spell. It's not gonna. I don't do it, so you know you gotta get what you use, right? Another thing to get is maxing out these. Host of the Elements is a good one to max out first. Elemental Form, another one worth maxing out immediately. Anything you use, anything your character uses, Thermitage's Unity definitely is worth maxing out as soon as possible because you are missing out on... well, if you manually cast all these spells, go for it. Don't worry about it. But I'm lazy and I only cast the Unity version of it. So that's something to consider. Their Destructive Fury, you're going to want to max that out. That's more crit damage for your spells. And, you know, just go through your AAs. And I focus on damage first. I am not a tank. I'm not a healer. And those things are not important to me. So I focus 100% on what this class does, and that's damage. And then at the end, when you have all the damage AAs done, go for all the defensive ones. And your character will be not a glass cannon anymore. It just depends on how you play. If you're playing solo, you might want to consider, you know, maybe you need some of that extra, you know, stuff, right? Extra defensive stuff. But there we go. That's how I play my 115 Mage. Obviously, there's probably like 2 other videos of 115 Mage on my channel. I would say this is my best iteration at this point. I've changed things in this character that I have not done on my other ones. So, and that's from making I think 5, maybe 6 mages to 120 plus. So there's a lot of nuance to this and stuff like that. So I just feel like this is the best version of that. But thank you very much for watching, and please have a fantastic day. If you have any questions, please leave a comment. And if you like the video, give it a thumbs up or something. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.